All right, everybody, you are officially tapped in to Still Keeping 100 Entertainment YouTube. I got my cast members here, Joy, Kayla, J Ribs, and we're going to be confessing a whole bunch of shit. And I don't know what is going to be confessed, and we have not went over this. This is not scripted. This is just random confessions. Anybody that knows me, you know when I confess every Thursday on my Facebook, I just say random things, but they are really things that I'm confessing. And as I did go on live today and confessed a few things, it was random, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around. Ladies are gonna go first. They're gonna confess whatever they confess.
No, you're gonna start this. This is your shit.
I knew it.
You're starting
Ladies
first.
first.
No, because I'm not going first.
Ladies first.
We're being
Are we really going to argue about this in our first segment?
It's cool.
We're being
Ladies are
That's
first.
bullshit. No.
I could have said fuck you.
Your
This is
segment.
going
This
first.
is your segment.
This is
Still
your
Keep 100
show.
YouTube. This is what you get.
This is your show.
This is your channel. So you gotta.
You have to start.
And
then we can go get
That's cool.
Apparently, we gotta go first.
I'm not ready
Okay,
to
so
go
look,
first.
I'm going to go back. Rewind.
I'm not
Me and
ready.
Jay's going to go first.
Because I'm not
And
ready.
these guys are going to sit here and be crabs in a bucket
No,
while
we're
we
gonna comment.
crawl out of the bucket
Go
and
ahead,
tell you
crawl
some
out
of
the
our
fucking
real
bucket.
confessions.
Okay.
And then they're going to think about some of the shit that they're going to confess.
Okay.
So each individual will get a chance to confess whatever they want to confess, talk about it, and then pass it on. And then we will go around probably about, let's see, 5-6 times maybe, I don't know. Depending on how good the confessions get, we may go to 10.
We'll figure it
But
out.
every
I told you, I got
individual in this forum, in this segment, gets a chance to confess and talk about it. And if the people want to know why you're confessing this, you explain that to them. This is why I confess this. So,
because that's the show.
round one, we're going to call this round one. Ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Jay, you go first.
Confession. This last winter, I went through a bad gambling addiction. I was probably gambling 6 nights a week, upwards of at least $300 a night.
Wow. Wow, man.
It was hard to get over that. I know why I did it, because I got bad anxiety as it is, and I was trying to fill a hole with that. So,
Was that when I was seeing you at Rochester?
yeah,
Yeah.
all the time. So yeah, that was pretty bad.
Right.
I put myself in a deep hole, but
So may I ask a question?
yeah.
How'd you handle that? Like, what did you do to get out of that? Did
Right.
you go to, like, Gamblers Anonymous? 'Cause
No,
I know
He
they
never
have
went
that.
to sleep.
Well, no, but I mean,
No,
he doesn't do it
I
now.
I had to.
What was your breaking point? How about that?
What?
Start off with that.
And I came real short on rent 1 month. And I make really good money at the job I do, and I came short on rent.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I make really good money at the job I do. When I came up short on rent, that I knew I really had a bad problem.
Yeah.
So I just recognized myself, and I did something about it myself. But if you do need help, never fear of seeking help, because it doesn't make you weak.
Let me commend you though. That's amazing that you like were able to come out of that without having to do Gamblers Anonymous and all that. Like trust me, I was in a relationship with someone who had a gambling problem, and it was bad. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, coming up short on rent and stuff. So
And I will say also, it wasn't just.
Too, I think.
It didn't happen all of a sudden. I always did like gambling for a long time,
It's,
but it was never a problem until this last winter where I just went in too deep, and
well, nobody
I fell back into some old habits as far as anxiety and depression, and that's how I decided to fill the void.
know that one.
I can actually defend that, because when I seen you during those stages, he was all like, nah, it's a DM.
Yes.
Like,
I didn't want to hear it.
the sun goes down and he's like vamping, and then like the sun comes up, he's hair wild, just look like he ain't slept. I'm like, Jay, what the fuck's going on with you? And he really was in a space where he wasn't fucking with nobody, but he would like shake my hand like, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm like, chill with me. He'd be like, nah.
I left pissed off because I just lost it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, too.
I left pissed off.
He just spent like 2-3 days in the casino.
Yeah.
Ain't showered, putting no deodorant on his arms, nothing.
Yeah.
He came a long way. He really did.
So that's
yeah,
dope,
I can
man.
defend
Yeah,
that.
that's
I can defend
dope.
that.
Like,
for real, absolutely. That's dope as fuck.
That's a hell of
That's
a
dope.
confession.
That's not like, that's no small feat.
I was trying not to laugh because I was thinking about all the confessions that I was about to say. And I was
That was like a true, that was some real shit.
Like,
Hey, you started us off right. Let's go. All right, come on, Jackass. Let's go with your shit.
It's my turn, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Here we go.
So I'm a match that. I'm a match that. Confession.
I'm not ready.
I'm
not ready. It's cool.
Yeah, because Jay started it off serious, so I gotta be serious, and then it'll get to the jokes or whatever else.
Man,
so confession. In all seriousness, confession. I graduated AA.
Hey.
I graduated AA, got my coin, and at that point, I didn't think that it was a glorification for me to be saving my certificate from AA class with the coin. I got like 6 of the bitches. But
you should be proud of that.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should.
Used to work
I didn't know if I should be proud of graduating alcohol class.
Right.
But what I took out of it, and then when I later thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, I learned something. So I'm able to pawn that off to other people. So what you're saying, anxiety and all of that, you know, sitting in a group like this, but like 5 more people in AA, and you recite the whole little So long story short, I confess that I did AA. I did 6 months AA outpatient. I was in denial that I didn't have a problem. I didn't need to be here. I'm better than you guys, right? Like, right? And I'm like, why are you guys telling me this shit? Like,
right.
But then I started listening in, like really just like, I don't even know why I was listening in, but really absorbing some of the problems that people actually had.
Yes.
While I'm sitting here being a brat, like, I don't need this, and why the fuck, I'm only here because it's court ordered. You're looking at me like, nigga, I got real issues. You're just here because you don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, but what's up with you though? And I started talking to people. I started telling my story as when I started drinking in my 15 years old. Around my dad, I remember stealing his Rainier L's out of the Cadillac, and he had it in the console. He ran to the store to get some Newport cigarettes. I'm stealing his Rainier L. I'm drinking it. Then he get back in the car, man, my shit feel empty. I'm like, nah. Stealing his cigarettes, like right then and there. That was my addiction. That was my addiction.
Another confession.
Right.
So I'm saying this in the class. Like, they took that as he knows what he's doing, but we. You know what I mean? So I got different reactions from people. One time, the teacher came up to me, like the person that was instructing the class. She's like, people really perceive what you're saying. And like, why are you here? I'm like, because the judge told me to come. But I took that lesson and I was able to be like, yeah, I think I got a problem. I think
you can admit it. That's the first thing. Is
I think I got a problem.
I think the hardest thing is to admit.
Confession, I'm an alcoholic, and I fucking love that shit. So that's mine against yours. So he had an addiction with gambling. I think it took for me to get pulled over 2 times, so I have 2 DUIs with that story I just told you. My third one was not really added to the second one. So technically I have 2, but I have 3 total. And they really could have fucked me on the third one. But I had a good ass lawyer. But see, knock on wood, if anything was to happen, if I was doing that same dumb shit that I was doing when I got my first one or my second one, everything's back on the table at that point. 135 days suspended, you now get that. Probation violation, you get that. I'm off probation though, but they're gonna look at my history. Just like the judge did when she gave me my sentence for the second one. Well, I see you had this on your history prior to this. I think I want you on monitored probation. I had to piss every motherfucking day clean. Because if I didn't, I was going to jail for 30 days. Probation violation and court violation. That's 160 days. 160 days total? That's suspended under your conditions.
I used to write up the treatment plans at a drug and alcohol counseling center at one point in time.
See, we just started this confession all really real.
I started to realize.
Really real.
Jay started this shit. He started this shit. So let's get
after this confession.
Now, guess what? It's y'all's turn. Yeah. I don't give a fuck who go first. I don't care.
Okay. I mean, either way, I don't mind going.
I'm like, it's cool. I don't matter. It don't matter to me. What you want?
So, since he was talking about depression and anxiety and stuff, I actually struggled really bad with that. And at one point, This is probably more TMI.
So you have to
but-
look at the camera and say confession.
Okay.
Before you start.
Confession.
I told you shit wasn't gonna be perfect.
I'm not ready for any of this. This is probably way more than I
Look
should
at the
be
camera
sharing.
and say
It's
confession
more
before you
than-
start.
I did.
She
I said
did.
confessions.
Okay.
I mean, not alone.
Not confessions,
So-
confession.
I said confession.
Okay.
Confession.
Alright, cool.
I struggled really bad with depression and anxiety as well. And like I said, this is probably more TMI, but I had found out I was pregnant with my second child and that my kid's dad was cheating on me in the same week. And so that really, really hurt me really bad. I mean, we had talked engagement, getting married, shit like that. And then come to find out, he made me feel like I was crazy and that I was losing my mind, that he wasn't cheating. And I found out it was true. And so that really fucked with me. And so thankfully I had gotten in touch with a University of Washington study about pregnant women who were on antidepressants and stuff like that. And that actually...
You know those pills fuck you up and blow you up and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan
Well,
of
some
them.
people. It just, I think it's
I'm
all
more
people.
of a fan, honestly. I'm more of a fan
They
of
give you those
therapy.
pills
good. I
and
can't
tell
do
you
it.
to not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but they give you those pills and that medication, tell you you need them, so they can fuck you up even
No,
further.
I want.
No,
that's
going
I
back to the
honestly,
beginning
some people it helps them.
honestly, I felt that it helped me. It
Biggest thing-
wasn't.
well-
It to me it helped, and because I couldn't.
That's what they
I
want you
didn't
to
have.
think.
No, I personally I felt it.
Oh.
I felt different when I took them. I noticed that it actually was helping me.
Okay.
And so I didn't have access because I'm a single mother working and doing all this. I didn't have access to being able to have time to go to a therapist and actually talk. Because I would love to go and talk to somebody instead of taking some medication. But unfortunately,
That's all right. This is your
With-
therapy right here.
well, at the time, I already had one kid and I'm pregnant with the second one. And I find out my kid's dad's cheating. And I'm about to be doing everything all by myself. And all I could do was at one point, I would never ever physically harm myself, but I'm not gonna lie, the thought of hurting myself had crossed my mind.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, it would be so much better to not have to deal with all of this stuff.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
And so me
Not
being
alone.
on the medication had helped me.
You're not
to
alone,
come
man.
out of-
I came to a point where I held a gun against my head.
See, I never
When I
got
was
that
so bad.
far.
When you told me that, I was like, who am I fucking
See, and I
with?
never
Like,
got
who is
that
this?
far, and I never could physically hurt myself. I would never leave my children alone.
Right.
They're my motivation, but
Yeah.
I mean, the thought was like, man, I could just get end this and then not have to deal with all this bullshit anymore. But being able to have there was a UW study that was going on that for pregnant women on medications for depression and anxiety, and so I talked to this woman on the phone. They did it over the phone, and so being able to have access to talking to her helped me a lot and realize that I don't need him and that these kids are my motivation and what I need to do. And since then I have been like the best mother that I could
That's
possibly
crazy.
be for my
Nice.
children.
That's crazy.
Because
That's good shit.
That's what's
Good
up.
shit. And I still keep 100 for your ass. Yeah, I feel like your
dope.
story was deeper than Jay's.
That's
Fuck.
dope.
well,
It is.
I don't know about all
It
that,
is big
but
demand.
But what I have
I mean,
found out that these symptoms and these diseases or whatever you want
it's
to call
real.
them,
Depression is
they're
real.
real.
People don't want to talk about it.
like
No,
I
that's
said,
crazy.
when he was telling his story, I seen my man like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, like, he's really fucked up.
Yeah.
So now that I'm hearing you, like, when I was telling you earlier, like,
I sometimes want
I don't have no social life, just my kids, and I'm dealing with
Yeah, I
this.
told
and,
you that on. Yeah, I don't have
Shit's
a
crazy.
life.
I
I
have
sometimes
a
want
bunch
some
of
of the food we get fed, or like you know.
Well, I think
That's a whole other segment. No,
It's my turn. It is my
We're
turn.
gonna keep that in a whole nother
Hey,
segment.
no, it is my
Let's say
turn.
Confessions Thursday.
I apologize.
Who's next?
Confession Thursday.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's my turn.
We'll get to
I'm
that.
next.
We'll get to that.
So I got like it's like
Oh
a double.
shit! Here we go. Hey. Oh my
So mine
god.
is
She's
like
awesome,
it's
by
like
the
a 2-in-1 confession. So we're gonna go back.
Two
We're gonna
first.
get on the Italia.
That's a
We're
two
back.
We're gonna get on this thing. So
Hold on before you start. What
is
Sorry.
this?
Let me plug in real quick. These YouTube videos are gonna be on SeattleHipHopRadio.com
Oh, yeah.
during the Cheryl Underwood show. So if you're familiar with SeattleHipHopRadio.com, DJ Brooklyn, aka Tony Starks, has these recordings and their shows. They're compiled in shows. During those shows, commercials will be ran, and they'll be going to like different things that we do, which is events and my YouTube, or just me sending him a voiceover for the show. So there's about 5 shows on the station, SeattleHipHopRadio.com, and you'll hear these recordings during those commercials. So this is what we're compiling together. So make sure you download that on your app. It's compatible with all devices.